What's up, guys? Right here. Uh, this is Sword Combat Part 4. So, yeah, this is the long-awaited Combat Part 4. Yeah, let's just get to it. So, in the handler script, so if you remember last time, we made the Sword Combat server script and then the handler module. So, just open up the module, make a new function, handler dot, I'll say attack. And I'm gonna just use the melee combat as reference, right? Um, so we're gonna send player, character, root part, and sequence, right? Also length. Do we need length? Let me just check this real quick. We're not gonna do stun for this. Or maybe we will. We'll see. No. Okay. Let's just keep length. I'll wait real quick. Alright. So we need to make a hitbox. In order to get the hitbox, you can either just make a folder inside of handler, call it meshes, and then make a hitbox part, which is what I have here. Now we need to clone it. Let me just triple check this folder. Then the breeze. Reference the breeze. So the breeze service. Yep. So at the top, let's do the breeze, secret of game. Get service the breeze. In the breeze, add item, folder, 0.25. So this is the attack function. Now we need to set up the hitbox stuff. So I want to check with the animations real quick so I can get this set up correctly. All right, so I got an idea on hitboxes. So local hitbox, and we need to reference the meshes folder that's inside of the module. And it's equal to meshes dot hitbox phone hitbox dot size. It's equal to vector 3 dot new. Let me just take a look at this. I want the height to be like 2, probably the length 2, and the width can be at 4 still. And let's do 5. Alright, so hitbox that C frame is equal to this is the part that's gonna sort of be different, right? Let's just put text here real quick. Then hitbox.parent is equal to folder. Alright, so in the handlers, table, put a comma down under katana atoms, and then do katana hitboxes. Then do C frame dot angles. Yeah, C frame dot angles. And I just need to test which C frame works. And we're just gonna use this to multiply it. So hitbox C frame is whenever part.cframe times cframe.new 0 negative 3, then times handler dot katana hitboxes, and let me just make sure I set this up correctly. So it should look like this, right? And then sequence, and I'm just gonna comment this out real quick so we can test. I'm gonna weld the hitbox, and I'm just doing this just so it can go faster. But yeah, local weld, then part 0 is equal to hitbox, part 1 is the human root part, and then the C0 is this, then you parent it. Alright, so let's test this real quick. So press E. Yep. Oh, and let me make sure the hitbox is not transparent. Well, it is transparent, but I can like see it still. Let me just put the other sequences in here too, just to double check and make sure everything works. E slash. Oh wait, I know why it's not working. So for the animations, right? The attack animations, we need to make an animation event for each of the animations. So I'm just gonna import the animations. Let me just make sure I get the correct ones. Yeah. Then the point of the slash is where you'll make a animation event. And we'll just call it hit. So just make sure, make an animation event where you want the hitbox to spawn at during the slash animation, and then just re-export it. So I gotta find the existing animation. It's just 1 or 6. Okay. Now I'm gonna just do the same and then fast forward this. Now that we have the animation events in our animations, we can go to the server script and do player animation :get marker reached signal, and then it'll be hit :connect function, and then we're gonna do handler.attack. Is that uppercase or lowercase? Okay, lowercase. And then make sure you put player, character, human part in sequence. I'm gonna just save this real quick. Press E. Hitbox spawns in. Okay. And obviously they're not gonna be in a correct like shape yet. Well, not shape, but orientation. And I'm gonna just change this to 1. And I'm gonna make the angles different, so this should be like this. They should match up. I might have to change it slightly. Yeah, that matches up. Okay. Let me just make sure the other one matches up. If 30. And just save that. It doesn't have to be like perfect. You're not gonna get it perfect, so just get it as close as possible. And obviously my animations are dirt, so yeah. And that matches up pretty good. So yeah. Then we got the hitboxes working. I'll just remove that line. Actually, I'll keep it and just set it to 1. Alright, so we have the hitbox stuff, right? Now we needed to do damage. So local connection. Is equal to hitbox dot touch colon connect function end. So we just need to make a connection for dot touched, which is what we have here. And then we need to get the results. So results is equal to hitbox get touching parts. And then we're going to use a coroutine wrap function to go through this list. So results will return all the stuff that the hitbox touches, right? So we're gonna do for I, well, not for I, but for underscore objects in pairs. Results. Now we just need some results. All right, now we need to check if object is like if it's not a part of our player. So if not objects, and this should just be object is the descendant character. Then so this is saying if it's not part of our player, then move on. Then we need to check if it has a humanoid and a humanoid root part. So okay, dot parent, my first child, humanoid. Root part. Just double check that I have that correct. Yep. Now you want to check if humanoid and a humanoid part and a humanoid dot health greater than 0. So this is just to check to make sure that it has a humanoid and humanoid root part, and then it also makes sure that it's not dead. So then if the target is not dead, then it could proceed. So it's gonna do hitbox destroy. Now we did do a stun system for melee combat. So if you don't have that, I suggest watching the melee combat tutorial. Well, you'll need to, because I'm not gonna re-explain this. But pretty much go into the combat handler script that we did and pull that into this one, right? And then you can copy this like word for word. Well, before we do the duration part, just copy this part to this part. Right. And we're gonna get some errors, it's fine. So the first error, right, should be combat handler. Just change that to combat. I mean not combat. Change it to handler. And then this just needs to be updated to be that. Now we need to also grab the visual effects part. So the replicated storage and the visual effects remote. And put that above here. So it should look like that. I know I'm like bouncing around, my fault. I'm just trying to sort of get everything done right? So pretty much this checks if the player is stunned or whoever hits first, right? So if I hit like player 2 first, player 2 is stunned, and if the player 2 has swung, but I hit them first and they're stunned, then it ignores their hitbox. And then this just disconnects the connection right here. This does damage, and this will display the visual effects, which we need to change this to Katana VFX. And then before we do anything else, so for this, right, we need to copy this, the players in combat, and put this at the top right here. It's just gonna be an empty table. Just put that like that. Let me just triple check this real quick. And then I'll need player stun time from the combat handler. So we need these two. You can scroll down and everything else should be fine. We're gonna send length through this, so we're gonna need all 5 of these. Now go back to the server script and put length there as well. So it should look like this. So what your server script should look like. And then we're gonna go back to the module. Just go down for a bit. Now, if obviously you'll still need to go back to the melee stuff. And we're just gonna grab the stun system down here. Just gonna grab all of that up until break. And then we're gonna paste that under the coroutine wrap. And yeah, we're gonna get a bit of errors, but it's fine. Don't freak out. So just change length to length, because I'm just not using a capital L. Change combat handler to just handler. Everywhere it says combat handler, just change it to handler. And then I'm not using that capital H. Well, not a capital H, a capital E. So just change that to be the enemy's humanoid. Then at the end, under these two if statements, do break, and this will break the loop for the hitbox, right? Because we're not hitting multiple people, we're only hitting one, right? And then under the core team, so I'm gonna just close that up, and I'll do the same here. We need a task dot delay, so task dot delay is 0.25 function. And this will just get rid of any connections if the hitbox doesn't hit anything. So if connection, then connection disconnect. And we have to delete the hitbox too. No, the folder gets deleted. Okay. So that's all we needed. So now you're probably like, what do we do with the visual effects? So I'm gonna put this particle stuff, like this particle visual effects that I made for this. And this is what it looks like. So simple sword slash. Something you could just create if you no particles for a bit. But you want to scroll down to the visual effects handler that we made in the Melee Combat series and make a module inside of the local script. Call it Katana VFX. This name has to be the same name for this, right? If it's not, it won't work. Okay. So now that we have that, you see how we have the second parameter or the third parameter as VFX. This is the function's name. So function katana.vfx. Then let me just see what we're sending through. We're just sending through argument. Okay, and then we send through the humanoid root part, right? Let me just double check this. Okay, yep. All right. So this is what the module should look like for your Katana server script. Remember, I just like close up some stuff, so feel free to pause. Okay. So now in the visual effects, we need to make a folder. Instance.new. Folder. Folder.name is Katana VFX. Folder parent is equal to workspace. And we're gonna need to grab tween service, meshes, and debris. So from the combat VFX module, there's gonna need the same thing here. Gonna make a new folder inside of the VFX module, name it meshes, and then this will be in the download. I'm gonna make it transparency 1, and then drag that inside of the meshes folder. So that's what the hierarchy should look like. And then it's just simple as hit effects is equal to meshes dot hit effects home hit effects dot c frame is equal to argument 1, not argument 1, argument 3, because that's what the humanoid root part is. So the player gets ignored for fire client, and then this is argument 1, argument 2, and argument 3. So argument 3 dot c frame and hit effects dot parent is the folder, and then we need to spawn the hit effects. So hit effects dot attachment dot slash, and since this is only 1 slash, I'm gonna just emit only 1. The hit effect attachment dot spear emit 16. Let me just make sure I have everything. Then we want to degrees folder 1 second. Let me just save over this, and everything should work. So I'm just gonna play. Okay, take the sword out. I'm gonna hit a dummy, and bam, got a sword effect. This is just like a basic sword effect that I just made real quick. Obviously, you can improve this effect, but it's just supposed to be your base effect, right? So yeah, if you enjoyed this video, hit that like, sub, share. Just let me know what you want to see next. Well, the next video after this will be a raid cast. I actually recorded that before this video, but yeah. Just let me know if you want to see anything else. Some like basic tutorials or super advanced. Hopefully it's not like too advanced, but something around like how we have the sword combat stuff, right? Yeah, if you like the video, hit the like, sub, share, comment down below. If you watched the full video, comment down below TV head, and I'll have it like right here. But yeah, thanks for watching.